It all started on an ordinary evening, the kind that carries no warning of what is to come. Noora was cleaning the apartment, humming softly to herself, moving through their familiar rooms with the ease of routine. The autumn light was fading through the curtains, casting long shadows across the wooden floor. Her hand brushed against a drawer she rarely opened, tucked deep in the corner of their shared desk, and something made her pause. Inside, beneath old receipts and forgotten keys, she found a worn, folded letter. The moment she saw Sam's handwriting on the envelope, her heart skipped a beat. But it was not his writing inside that stopped her cold. As she slowly unfolded the brittle paper, her eyes caught the first line, written in an unfamiliar hand: "You promised me you would never leave, but I have waited long enough." A cold wave of doubt ran through her body like ice water. She read the line again, then again, as if repetition might change its meaning. Could Sam have betrayed her? Had he been keeping secrets all these years, hiding another life she knew nothing about? Her hands trembled as questions flooded her mind, each one sharper than the last. She sat down on the sofa, clutching the letter against her chest, replaying every moment of their 2 years of marriage. The small smiles he gave her each morning over coffee. The quiet talks they shared on the balcony when the city slept. The teasing moments when he would pull her close and whisper things meant only for her ears. All of it had felt so real, so certain. But now, suddenly, everything seemed fragile, like glass held too tightly in a fist, ready to shatter at the slightest pressure. The life she knew, the man she loved, the future she had imagined, all of it hung suspended in the silence of that empty room. That night, sleep would not come. She lay beside Sam in the darkness, listening to his steady breathing, feeling like a stranger in her own bed. Every time she closed her eyes, her imagination betrayed her, conjuring a million scenarios, each more terrifying than the last. She saw faces she did not recognize, heard whispered conversations she was never meant to hear, and felt the cold grip of abandonment tightening around her heart. By the time the first pale light of morning crept through the blinds, her decision was made. She could not carry this weight alone any longer. She had to confront him, no matter how much the answer might hurt. Sam was in the kitchen, pouring coffee, when Noora appeared in the doorway. With trembling hands, she held up the letter, her voice barely steady enough to form words. He turned, and immediately noticed the fear and tension carved into her face. His expression changed in slow, painful stages, first confusion, as if he did not recognize what she was holding, then shock, as memory flooded back into his eyes, and finally a quiet sadness that seemed to age him in a single breath. He set down the coffee pot and took a deep, uneven breath. "Noora," he said, his voice low and careful, "that letter is not what you think. It is from my sister. My younger sister, who I have not seen in almost 15 years. He paused, searching for words that might bridge the distance between them. "She has been searching for me for years, ever since I left home after our father died. I was young. I was angry. I disappeared without telling her where I was going, and I have carried that guilt with me ever since." Noora stared at him, feeling every word sink into her chest like stones dropped into still water. "Why did you hide this from me?" she whispered. "Why did you never tell me you had a sister?" Sam stepped closer, his eyes never leaving hers. "Because I was ashamed," he admitted. "I was afraid you would see me differently, that you would think less of me for abandoning her. I hid the letter to protect you, or maybe to protect myself, from having to face who I used to be." The room fell silent. Noora felt anger and relief and love colliding inside her, each emotion fighting for space in her heart. She wanted to scream at him for the sleepless night, for the doubt that had nearly consumed her. But she also wanted to reach for him, to hold him and tell him that nothing in his past could ever change what she felt. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Then tears rolled down her cheeks, quiet and unstoppable. "Love is not enough," she whispered, her voice breaking on the words. "Trust and honesty matter even more. You should have told me, Sam. You should have trusted me enough to share your pain." He reached for her hand, holding it tightly, and in that simple touch, both of them felt everything at once, the weight of fear, the relief of truth finally spoken, and the fragile strength of the bond they had built together. It was a moment neither of them would ever forget. They stood there in the morning light, two imperfect people holding on to each other, understanding for the first time that love is not about never having secrets. It is about having the courage to share them, and the grace to listen when they are finally revealed. And so, their story continues, not because it is perfect, but because they choose each other, every single day. If this story touched your heart, if it made you feel something real, then you are exactly where you belong. Here at Sam and Noora, we bring you stories that speak to the soul, stories about love, trust, heartbreak, and the beautiful mess of being human. Subscribe now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Like this video if it moved you, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment below and tell us, have you ever found a secret that changed everything? We read every single comment, and your story matters to us. Until next time, remember, love is a choice, and you are never alone in this journey.